Hello, this is Michael Benner, host of the Ageless Wisdom Mystery School. Today, in this third episode, we're going to discuss the benefits of mindfulness. For the next few weeks, you may have some extra time on your hands. This is a real good time to begin to practice mindfulness for about 15 minutes a day. It'll change your life. Now, before we do it, what is mindfulness? What does that even mean? I think a brief definition is simply noticing what you notice. Whether during a formal mindfulness meditation or after your eyes are open and you're seeking to live more mindfully in the world, to notice what you notice. And if you just contrast that with how often you find yourself becoming aware of having not noticed this or that. What if I come to my senses late in life and realize that I'm in my 80s or 90s and my life is pretty much over and I forgot to pay attention? Most of us are so lost and obsessed by regrets from the past and fears of the future that we forget to be in the present moment, to pay attention to what's happening right now, and to do so objectively and without judgment. This may seem to you to be the oddest part of all, the idea that we can witness our lives without judging everything as either good or bad, right or wrong, with us or against us, but just observe it and not judge it. And the benefits of that are essentially expanded awareness or higher consciousness. In other words, a more full understanding of all the implications and ramifications, the denotations and connotations of our lives. They become much richer as we become more aware. Just imagine the benefits of mindfulness as a practice in an emergency or crisis like the pandemic we're experiencing now. Instead of being riddled with fear and muscular tension, confused thoughts and numb feelings, we can explore the full depth and breadth of our experience and make it truly memorable and sort of bend the curve from terrifying to a much more positive experience, an opportunity to enrich our lives. Well, we have to learn this. It is a practice. It's not just a decision that you make. And so to learn to be mindful of your thoughts without being the thinker, to be mindfully aware of how you feel without being victimized or consumed by those feelings, to deliberately and purposefully choose your behavior instead of reacting reflexively, and to patiently observe without judgment the world around you and empathize with others in it, begins with watching our breath and identifying as the witness rather than the breather. And so let's do that exercise now. Find a comfortable place, put your feet flat on the floor, and feel your connection to the earth. Imagine how it feels to be grounded. How might it feel to be a tree with roots that reach deep into the earth, that plug you in and electrically ground you to the earth, to the material world? And just as you feel physically connected, feel emotionally calm. As if your emotions are like a small lake, a pond or pool of water, and you can feel the surface of that water slowly becoming smooth as glass. Physically still, connected and supported by the earth. emotionally calm and peaceful. And then align with your mental body. A sense of a vertical alignment, physical, emotional, and mentally clear, focused, and aware, alert, attentive, and relaxed. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and above you, spiritually aligned, open and receptive to a downward precipitation of the energy that illumines and animates you. Physically, emotionally, each plane or sphere aligned and integrated, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, feeling whole and complete, filled, full, fulfilled, and radiant. Closing your eyes if you haven't already. Take 2 or 3 nice, slow, deep breaths, pulling in strength and power as you inhale, and as you exhale slowly, create and sense a letting go feeling. Inhale through the nose, hold for just a moment as you peak, and exhale through the nose or the mouth, even more slowly, as you feel the letting go of muscular tension, stress, anxiety, muscles relaxing and unwinding as you feel the letting go. Allow your breathing to find its normal and natural rhythm. And bring your awareness to the bottom of your nose. Find a single spot, perhaps on the tip of your nose or somewhere along the cartilage that separates the nostrils. And imagine that you exist as a tiny little pinpoint of awareness, fixed in that spot on the bottom of your nose. And your intention is simply to monitor, to observe, to witness your body breathing itself. Do that now. Notice your body breathing itself, all by itself. Remind yourself you are not doing this breathing. You are watching your body breathe itself. autonomically, automatically, involuntarily, breathing at its own pace, its own rate, its own rhythm. And you choose not to interfere. If at any time you would like to hold your breath for a moment for any reason, or perhaps take a nice, slow, big, deep breath to relax even further, you can do that, no problem. But then, as you allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm, take that step back, detach, and associate yourself as the witness or observer of this autonomic breathing. Notice the rhythm, the period, the length of each breath, the amount of time that the body pauses at the end of the inhalation and at the completion of the exhalation. Notice any changes in your breathing. Remain fixed at that single point, rather than following breath into your lungs and back out again. Or instead of thinking of your breath as the slide on a trombone going back and forth, remain fixed at that single point on the bottom of your nose, as if somewhat removed, observing your body breathing itself, witnessing without judgment, for there is no good breath or bad breath. Your breathing is not right or wrong. It always supports you and never opposes. It just is. And you are curious, even fascinated. As you watch your body breathe itself without any assistance or interference. From your will. Invariably, your mind will wander, become bored, and seek to distract you, to pull you away. And that's okay for a moment. Let it go. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. And certainly, there's no need for you to admonish yourself. Distraction is to be expected, anticipated, and understood. But as soon as you're aware that you've drifted off, notice whether the thoughts or feelings that pulled you away have any real significance. And when you realize they do not, they're simply distractions, they're simply unintended distractions, release them and gently bring your awareness back to that point on the bottom of your nose and observe your body breathing itself. Even if you have to do this several times a minute, it's rather like training a puppy to sit and stay. It takes patience and repetition. And in time, like the puppy, your mind will learn to be less and less distracted and more easily focused on your breathing. As you learn to observe your breathing as the witness rather than the breather, you will be able to observe your thoughts and feelings as the witness rather than the thinker or the victim of your emotional feelings. And do so without judgment and be more aware with a greatly enhanced understanding of yourself, your relationships, and the events and circumstances that comprise your life. Both during a meditation exercise and with your eyes open and moving about your daily life and affairs. Prepare to return to the waking state. With enhanced awareness. And interest. In your incomparable uniqueness and the life you lead. And count yourself out from 1 to 5, reminding yourself that in a few moments, when we finally reach the number 5, you'll open your eyes, wide awake, alert, feeling refreshed and rested, relaxed and yet energized, revitalized, feeling really good, healthy, strong, passionate, and compassionate. And as we begin, 1, feel yourself gently floating upward toward the wide awake state. 2, drifting ever so gently, as if in the basket of a beautiful hot air balloon. 3, you continue ever so slowly to drift upward and notice the horizons expanding around you in all directions. 4, feel the pillow or chair supporting you, the floor beneath your feet. And 5's eyes open, wide awake, back in the room, feeling really great, all refreshed and revitalized, with a full memory of this exercise. And this is Quarantine Meditation number 3. Thanks very much for listening, sharing this with your friends. Thanks so much. Stay strong, stay safe, stay in touch. From Palm Springs, California, this is Michael Benner. Namaste and aloha.